hopping into the NBA last night, them daggone Milwaukee Bucks. I knew it was too good to be true. Bucks crush us there. Good thing I stayed off of the Spurs as well. That line smelt fishy. We did get across the finish line with the Miami Heat, so 1-1 on the night. Win the Heat, lose the Bucks. What are you going to do now? On to Wednesday here again. Click that like, hit subscribe. Got the Toronto Raptors at the Indiana Pacers. Looking at the injury report, Portal is out, Walters out, RJ Barrett is out, all for the Raptors. Methune and Jackson still out for the Indiana Pacers. Right now, Toronto laying 2.5 on the road, 225.5 is your total. 76% ticket count, 49% of the handle to the over, 24% ticket count, 51% of the handle going under. As far as that side goes, 63% of bets is equaling 68% of the money on the Toronto Raptors. 37% ticket count equaling 32% of the money is on the Indiana Pacers in this one. Toronto comes in 6-3 against the spread their last 9. They're also 6-3 straight up in that same time frame. Against the Pacers, they've had success from a covering standpoint. 6-3 ATS versus the Pacers. Now the Pacers just 3-13 their last 16 games, but we had them their last time out. We gave them out +6. They beat the Boston Celtics outright. The under is cashed 11 of the last 16 games Toronto's played in. It's cashed to the under 6 of the last 7 that the Pacers have played in. Pacers 4-1 ATS their last 5. Again, that over-under sets 222.5 in this one. Now, Raptors 24-17 on the year. Pacers 9-13, or 9-31 rather. But the Pacers are 7-15 at home. So 7 of those 9 wins have came at home in Indiana. These two teams have played twice, both games in November. Back in Indiana, the Pacers won 129-111 on November 15th. Then November 16th, Toronto won 97-95 at Toronto. Toronto, again, has lost 2 of their last 3 games. As to where Indiana, they've won 3 in a row now. Charlotte, Miami, and Boston catching a little bit of a heater. I like the Pacers here. There's some threes out there. It would be Pacers +3 or nothing for me. Have not gotten to the window on it yet, but it would be Pacers +3 or nothing. Cleveland Cavaliers at the Philadelphia 76ers. Now the 76ers are laying 1.5. Wade is out. Strus is out. Paul George and Embiid, as always, game time decisions. That's the really hard thing about with the 76er games. Kind of like Clipper games. You never really know on the handicap. You got to wait till almost game time. But for the sake of the trends, we'll go through those. 76ers laying 1.5. Now, they're getting 53% of the tickets, but that's only equaling 26% of the handle, is where the Cavaliers, 47% of ticket counts, equaling 74% of the handle for them. Your over-under sets 237.5, 59% of bets, equaling 38% of the handle on the over 237.5, 41% of bets equaling 62% of the handle on the under in this game. Cleveland just 1-5 against the spread their last 6, and they've really struggled covering spreads against the 76ers. There's just 1-6 ATS over their last 7 games. However, they have beaten the 76ers 4 of the last 5 matchups. Now, Philly 6-2 straight up and 6-2 ATS their last 8. Starting to come around here, playing a little bit better. We gave them out against the Toronto Raptors just the other day. Cavs 22-19, 76ers 22-16, but the Sixers 10-9 at home. Now, they played once this year, again back November 5th. That was the Cleveland Cavaliers, took that 132-121 against the 76ers. But again, it's kind of been like a win-loss for the Cavs as of late. And the 76ers, again, just on a nice little heater here, going 6-8 over their last few games. And some good competition in there. Beat the Knicks, beat Orlando, split out with Toronto, who's been playing better basketball as of late. Listen, to me, it's 76ers or nothing, but only if George and Embiid both play. If only one plays, I would go Cleveland. But I'm just staying away from this game. This is a great game with such a close spread, basically a pick 'em. You're going to be able to get some really good value in game. that's going to be the best way to bet this game. Chicago Bulls laying 2.5 to the Utah Jazz. Now the Bulls, they got trounced yesterday by the Rockets. The money is 50-50. The ticket count is not. 65% of tickets are laying the 2.5 with the Bulls. 35% of tickets are taking the 2.5 with the Utah Jazz. Now that total sets 243.5 in this one. Utah 4-2 against the spread their last 6 games, but over their last 8, they're just 2-6 straight up. Bulls 1-4 their last 5, but the Bulls have beaten the Jazz 5 of the last 7 matchups, and head to head, 5 of the last 6 have went over the total between these two teams. Now, when you look at the injury report, Kevin Love is out, Harkless, he's out, Niang is out, and then for the Bulls, Kobe White's out, Giddey out, Zach Collins out. So just a lot going for them, going on with them, and the fact that the Bulls are on the back-to-back. They come in 18-21. The Utah Jazz 14-25. Bulls 11-9 at home. Jazz haven't been good on the road, 5-13. Now they played once this year. That was in Utah back November 16th, 150-147 in overtime. Now the Jazz dropped 5 in a row and now have won 2 of the last 3, beating the Mavs and beating Cleveland 2 nights ago. Bulls again, they lost 119-113 against the Houston Rockets, and they've lost 4 of their last 5. Credit to them, though, those losses are against the Rockets, the Celtics, and Detroit are 3 of those losses. Then they beat the Mavs at home. At home has been a little better to the Bulls, 11-9, than on the road, 7-12. Again, I think you're going to find a better bet in-game betting on this, but I like the Jazz +3. That would be the way I go. Jazz or nothing in this one. Brooklyn Nets, they're trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Now, Williams is out. EJ Liddell, he's a game-time decision with the knee. Alvarado is out, and Jones is out for the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, Pelicans are +2.5 on this one, 228.5 is the total. 60% of ticket count, 75% of the handle going over. 40% of ticket count, 25% of the handle to the under in this one. Now, as far as the Nets laying the 2.5, they're getting 43% of bets, 32% of the handle laying it on the road. Pelicans, 57% of ticket count, 68% of the handle taking the points at home. Brooklyn has beaten the Pelicans 11 of the last 14 head-to-head matchups, and in the last 15 games, they're 11-4 against the spread against the Pelicans. So Brooklyn has had the better of them, but Brooklyn's just 1-7 their last 8. Pelicans aren't much better, 1-11 their last 12. Listen, you got 2 really pathetic teams, 2 really pathetic franchises. They played back December 6th in Brooklyn. Brooklyn won that game 119-101. I either take the points at the home with the Pelicans or I don't bet it. But again, when you got 2 bad teams like this, there's just nothing that's going to interest me in this game. Dallas Mavs, obviously, no Anthony Davis, no Nikola Jokic. Braun is out. Cam Johnson is out. Bates is out. Valanciunas is out. So a whole list of people out for the Denver Nuggets. The big one to watch here is Max Christie. He's doubtful now with the illness. Just trying to get now. PJ Washington is questionable for the Mavs. Denver is laying 1 at Dallas tonight. It's up to 1.5 over at DraftKings, 226.5 total. 74% ticket count, 82% of the handle going to the over. 26% ticket count, 18% of the handle to the under. 63% of tickets, 62% of the handle is laying the 1.5 on the road. 37% of ticket count, 38% of the handle taking the points. Now, Denver 5-1 against the spread their last 6 on the road. And even though Jokic has been out there, 4-1 their last 5 and 4-1 ATS in that same time frame. Dallas just 4-8 their last 12, 2-7 ATS their last 9. Denver has had the better of Dallas, except the past 2 games. Dallas has beat them this year. Both meetings, Dallas 131-121, being them in Denver December 1st. They played again December 23rd, 131-130. Dallas beat them. So these games have been extremely tough. Jokic was in the lineup for both of those. For me tonight, and I'm probably going to get to the window on it, I just need to make sure Murray's going to do that. He's a big big part of it. But I like the Denver Nuggets minus 105 on the money line. I think that's the best way to carry this. You take Denver over at FanDuel, it's minus 105 on the money line. I will give that at least a half unit on the Nuggets there tonight. New York Knicks at the Sacramento Kings. They're laying 11.5. 39% of tickets, equaling 61% of the money, is on Jalen Brunson. And the Knicks, 61% ticket count, 39% of the money is taking the 11.5 with the Sacramento Kings. Now, when you look at this, Shamet still out for the Knicks, obviously, but Schroeder on the suspension, Murray out, Sabonis still out, but they got Levine and DeRozan there. Knicks laying 11.5. In this one, 229.5 is the total, 65% of bets, equaling 45% of the handle to the over. New York has fallen off a little bit. Start out red hot, but they're just 2-5 straight up their last 7. They're 3-11 against the spread their last 14 overall. But Sacramento, been good to cover against them. 8-1 against the spread the last 9. Now the Kings, they're just 3-6 against the spread their last 9, and they're 2-7 straight up in that same time frame. I just cannot figure out this Kings team. You fire Mike Brown, you got DeRozan, you got Levine, you got dudes. I just don't understand how you can be so bad. They're 10-30 right now, 14th in the West. It just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Now the Knicks, again, they've beaten the Kings 8 of the last 10. Nothing here I want to get involved with. The only thing you can maybe get me to do, this is a player prop in an in-game type game. Other than that, nothing I really want to deal with. It's kind of like this next game. Wizards catching 12.5 at the clip. Clippers, 56% of bets, 74% of the handle is laying the 12.5, 44% of tickets, equaling 26% of the money, taking the 12.5 with the Wids. Now, Whitmore and Young are out for the Clippers. Bogdanovich is out. Zubac is one to watch. He's questionable with the sprain. Kawhi Leonard, another one to watch. He's questionable. So too many question marks for me to be laying 12.5 with the Clips. Washington just 1-4, both straight up in ATS their last 5. The Clippers have covered 8 straight against the Wizards, and the Clippers have been playing really good basketball. 10-2 straight up their last 12, 10-2 ATS their last 12. So again, they've been playing really, really good basketball. Have the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, I like the Clippers and I like the Knicks. Of course, who doesn't? They're big favorites, right? So you might be like, RJ, that's stupid way of looking at it. But I do think if you take both of them, it's minus 267. Now, obviously, you don't want to lay that on a money line. And this is going to be kind of far out there, but I know some of you guys, you're willing to kind of lay a little bit more juice. If you take the Clippers, this is square. This is the SpongeBob square play you can get of the day. It doesn't get much more square than this guy. But you take the Clippers on the money line. You take the New York Knicks on the money line. You take Purdue on the money line. And then you go over to college basketball here and you take, let me again pull back up. I just want to make sure the line hasn't moved drastically on me here. And you take Arkansas. So if you got Arkansas, Purdue, the Knicks, and the Clippers, it's minus 122. I'd like to find a way to monetize the Knicks and the Clippers. I don't want to force it, but again, I think Purdue takes care of Iowa at home. I think Arkansas takes care of South Carolina there at home as well. That's the only way I could get to it. As far as straight, just going back through the board, I like the Denver Nuggets and I like the Utah Jazz in the Indiana Pacers. Again, nothing in pocket yet. Go to breaktheboardsports.com. You get all of our official plays, $32.99 the first month. If I'm not up at least 5 units, you get through March Madness for free. Every play, every sport. RJ Cash Cole, Break the Board Sports, giving you stats, trends, information to help you with your handicap. Whether you fade or follow, hope you win your bets. God bless and happy handicapping.